up here like a fool trying to discuss sports topics when nobody wanted to talk sports at this particular time. And they got the nerve to say that the DeMar Hamlin injury is one of the worst things you ever witnessed in sports. Well, I can't tell. Your actions don't show it. So for that particular, and I really don't criticize Skip Bayless like most people do, but this particular situation, dude, I'm criticizing you. You look completely foolish and completely ignorant sitting up there trying to talk sports when everybody in the sports world was only concerned about one thing and one thing only, and that's the health and welfare of DeMar Hamlin. So note to you, Skip Bayless. They say Shannon was scheduled not to be off the following day. I'm not sure, but I'm glad he was off because I don't even think he would have been able to hold his tongue. So nope to Skip Bayless for that particular thing. Nope.
Oh, come on!
Armani, what are you noping on, sir?
I am noping on the college football playoff committee. How can we have a game and nobody can tailgate outside the stadium? Like, that's just tradition. Like, how can nobody not tailgate before the game, before people start going into the game, where people actually go out there, fellowship, talk about different things? Like, that's just part of the tradition of football, is tailgating before you actually go into the game. That's the hype up. So I'm open on that. I mean, I just don't think that was a smart idea.
All righty. All right. I am noping along the same line of my dope. I have to nope on the NFL officials for even having the idea to try to get players back on the field and giving them a 5-minute warm-up to try to get them to play a game. Yes, it was an important game. Yes, it gave importance to the NFL playoff picture, but you got to be human. And you got to sometimes stop thinking about money and think about people. And therefore, again, I got to applaud the NFL players and coaches from the Bengals and Bills not going back on the field. But NFL, have a heart. Understand the situation. Make the best decisions if you're truly concerned about players' health. Understand, players' health is not just always physical. There's also called mental health. And therefore, you all were not concerned about the mental health of the players seeing one of their fellow colleagues go into cardiac arrest. So let's upgrade your understanding of health to move from just physical health to mental health as well.
No!
Coach, what are you noping on, sir?
I'm noping on one Trevor Bauer. I was confused when the Dodgers actually brought him back to team. And then they said, well, we're going to look bad bringing him back. And they cut him because that was the thing. I'm like, Trevor Bauer, somebody's going to pick him up. I guarantee you. They're going to ignore his ignorance, what he did, his assault, and going to pick him up just because he's a decent pitcher. But if it's me, after what he did, there would be one word associated with him: former Major League Baseball player.
You have got to be kidding.
Now, let me pause real quick. Should the Braves pick him up?
No.
Listen.
Okay.
Listen now. They already got Ozuna, who did the same thing.
I knew that was coming. I'm
not laughing at the situation. I'm laughing at they kept Ozuna. So they already have a track record of trying to rehabilitize certain players. And get Trevor Bauer on the cheap. A good 1-year contract, $20 million. They still got Ozuna for 2 more years unless they can unload his contract real quickly.
They'll probably be able to unload it next year with 1 year left. They might be able to unload Ozuna next year with 1 year left. Next year.
After next year. Yeah. So Red, are you in favor of them going after Bauer since they already got Ozuna?
I wouldn't completely poo-poo it, but I would have some questions. I would actually be surprised that they would even look his way. But the one thing I can say, the Braves aren't the Falcons. You know, the Falcons don't like the jailbait, but the Braves, like you say, it's baseball. I've seen them go after controversial players before, but not so soon after the controversy. Usually they wait a year or two. But this would be surprising that they're going after him immediately after he's been reinstated. But the dude is a Cy Young caliber pitcher. Somebody's gonna pick him up, and whoever pick him up gonna have another weapon on their pitching staff. All he gotta do is be a good boy. I mean, I hope he ain't foolish enough to get in some more trouble after he just got in this trouble. So honestly, going to Rev's point, Trevor Bauer might be one of the choir boys in Major League Baseball this upcoming season. So whoever get him might get a quieter, more humble, more focused on baseball and just baseball instead of making your controversial statements, doing your controversial antics on the field. Trevor might be one of the most humble guys in baseball this year. So whoever get him might get a steal on their pitching staff is what I think Rev trying to say. And should the Braves profit from his new change as a man? Well, that remains to be seen, but somebody will. Definitely with you on that, Rev. Somebody's going to profit from. Somebody going to pick him up. I mean, because the dude just won the Cy Young, what, a year or 2 years back?
Yeah, well, I'm not sure if it was 2, but
when he was with the Reds. Yeah.
During the
COVID season.
Even, yeah.
The COVID. Oh no.
Coach's great championship season.
Well, you got something to say, COVID champ?
You know, it's a team that'll get him. Yankees.
Oh no doubt about it.
Mets,
they don't care.
Mets too. I mean, the thing about it is,
really,
if you're not going to ban them completely, then it's fair game. Because I mean, like, how long do you just continue to poo-poo on a person? The dude sat out the entire season last year, the entire season. So if the MLB is not going to ban him forever, he paid his dues. You know, that's just like somebody not giving Deshaun Watson another chance after he was suspended for, you know, as many games as he was suspended. So if he's still eligible at some point, he's paid his price. He lost his money. They did not expel him from Major League. So at some point, you got to let him come back. And if you're going to, you know, let him be in the league, then it's fair game. It's fair game. That's my a little opinion. I'm sorry for deviating. Armani, you want to say anything? You good?
No rebuttal.
Okay. All right. It's on you now. What are you coping on?
Oh man, I lost it. What am I coping on? I mean, I'm gonna just cope with. I mean, I think Red is dope, and both of y'all had this dope and for your dope session. You know, I'm just doping with Hamlin. I mean, I just hope he's all right. And I hope
come on, slow down. You know we coping now.
Yeah.
Okay, because you mixing up dope. I don't know what you're saying.
My bad. My bad. I lost it for a second. My bad. But
you want us to come back to you?
Yeah. I had to let it come back to me. My bad.
I go, Real. I go.
Let it come back to me. My bad.
Go ahead, Real.
His joke of freestyle.
My bad. I lost it.
We're gonna give you a moment to get it back. You know you're about to get it. You know you're about to get it Forever Night Nation in just a bit. But
it'll be all right.
I wanted to say it because it was like, man, I don't know if he tried to bring all three moments in one.
I lost it.
All right. I am coping on the fact that we got to hear another few more days of the greatness, in quotes, of Stetson Bennett. Though I'm glad that Georgia beat Ohio State. But I just need folk to put things in perspective. And one of the memes that I showed Coach last night puts Stetson Bennett is 25 years old. His 6th year in college. Meanwhile, Josh Allen is 25 years old in his 5th year in the NFL. let's put these in their proper perspective. Stetson Bennett is truly a man playing amongst boys. Okay,
Yeah.
so let's slow down, calm down with all love. So that's my coat moment. Happen to hear all of this Stetson Bennett great talk when this man is 25 years in the 6th year in college. All right. All right, Coach, what are you coping on?
I'm coping with the University of UConn ladies basketball team, who is really being now. You're talking about injuries. They really being racked with injuries. They only had 6 healthy players to suit up for the game that they were supposed to play, so they had to cancel the game. They got half the team either injured, hurt, or something going wrong with them. So they, Gino, this gonna be your year to. You're a great coach, but you're gonna have to pull it out the hat this year, my brother, because you down to 6 healthy players. So and even the coach had to take time off for illness. So UConn women are in serious trouble this year, and if Gino can pull something out of this, he's a good one. So they got to cope with losing players.
Red, what are you coping on?
Well, not me, but the Washington Commanders gonna have to cope with Riverboat Run gambling their season away once again. Lord have mercy. What was Ron Rivera thinking, putting Carson Wentz back into the starting lineup and just completely ruined the season for the Washington Commanders? I mean, you just threw the season away. Man, come out there and throw 3 interceptions, 3 awful turnovers in the game, a must-win game. I don't understand, what did he see in Taylor Heineke the week before that made him think he wasn't the guy when everybody on the team is for Taylor Heineke, playing for Taylor Heineke, wants Taylor Heineke in the lineup. I mean, Riverboat Run, you probably was the only fool that wanted Carson Wentz in the lineup. And look how you looking now. Completely foolish. Carson Wentz needs to be out of the NFL. He does not need to be any option for any team looking for a spark to get them in the playoffs. Riverboat Run, man, dude, you have made some gambles in sports, but this might have been one of your worst ones. You just completely ruined the season for your team. Y'all was sitting pretty in the playoff picture, and now you got eliminated last week because of Carson Wentz's awful performance. Riverboat Run, Lord, and players coping with you. It might be time for you to retire.
Bye-bye.
All right, he's allowing this season to explode. Armani, are you ready, sir?
Yeah, I think I'm all right.
No freestyling now.
All right. I am coping with Ohio State kicker. Oh man, dude. Come on, man. You have all kickers. Listen, y'all got one job. Y'all got one job. One job. They don't ask you to tackle nobody. They don't ask you to read no plays out. They don't ask you to do just kick. That's your only job, is to kick. Your only job. You don't have to do nothing else. That's all you do on practice during the week. You don't have to go through any kind of film session to kick a football, man. We gotta do college football, gotta do better with some of these kickers, man. I mean, goodness, the game online and you just messed up the kick. So I'm coping with Ohio State fans, man. I get it. Because I mean, Alabama, we suck at trying to recruit kickers. So I understand. Trust me.
Wow, real sound like that kick really bothered Armani.
I was having flashbacks because
how ugly it was. Yeah, that was
we
ugly.
never had good kickers.
Sound like Armani was really tortured by that kick. Well, you really wanted Ohio State to make that kick, didn't you?
He did.
At that point, yeah.
I know he did.
Yeah, I did.
After slurping us all week long, now he really wanted Ohio State to make a kick.
Well, he didn't think Ohio State had a chance, and then when he saw that Ohio State was playing,
Had a chance. He switched sides.
He didn't want Georgia to get that back to back. He don't want.
I said.
I never thought he was on our side. I never believed it.
All right,
And true colors are being exposed now.
let's see
It's
what
all right.
Red Night Nation talk about.
Y'all not gonna like what I got to say about that game either, so I'm just letting y'all know.
Probably not gonna care.
The VP is doping on DeMar's breathing tube removed yesterday. The dopest news in the world for sure. He's also double doping on Red's dope. He says the Nets will be good as long as the Nets coach doesn't bring a globe into the line.
See, here we go.
Oh man, come on, man. Come on.
Dope on Reb's dope, solidarity, humanity. When it counted, Joe Black is doping on the Minnesota Vikings defensive tackle, who's a former Bill and has been sending food to the family medical staff that's taking care of his former teammate.
Yeah, well, they've been hooking them up.
The president is doping on the NFL coming together for this young man, and especially the Bengals fans. Yeah, the Bengals fans were definitely, they're definitely dope work. They handled themselves quite well. The prez is noping on Skip Bayless. Enough said. The VP noping on Skip. Well, how you say that?
Aloysius.
Clown, so I applaud Uncle Shay Shay for being able to stick around that clown. What's up, brother Martin? Glad to have you. The president is coping at 24. DeMar's NFL career is practically done. I wonder how the CBA addresses issues such as this in regards to finances. That's going to definitely bring out the whole healthcare piece.
They give him everything.
Going in. What's up, Kelly Kell? Glad
Kelly.
to have you. The brother Martin, I'm glad to hear that DeMar Hamlin's doing better. I'm still praying for the young man. Joe Black, noping on Skip Bayless, disrespecting Shannon Sharp for the second time in less than a month. Don't know how much longer Undisputed is going to last. It's going to last because Shay Shay knows he got a huge platform and he ain't letting go of that money.
Right.
If I got to deal with Skip Bayless to keep getting those coins,
I ain't got to deal with it.
The club Shay Shay ain't bringing that money in like Undisputed. He might be an influencer. He's doing well with Club Shay Shay. Great show. I love it, but it ain't bringing the money in that Undisputed is. So, because you could just tell, let me just do a sidebar. If you saw the episode where Shay explained how he didn't like Skip's tweet, Skip interrupted him, Shay Shay said, go ahead on, start the show. And if you had tuned in after that, you would have never known what happened. Mm-hmm. Because Shannon Sharp just went straight professional mode. Didn't allow Skip interrupting him to stop him from being the professional that he is. So,
exactly.
I think because Shannon Sharp has experience being fired from other networks, he's understanding that he's on a major platform. And I think Deion Sanders even helped him understand the platform that he has. It will take a whole lot for Shannon to say, I'm gone. It would probably be like a contract dispute, if anything. That would, but Skip Bayless being Skip is not going to stop him from being on Undisputed.
Right, Real. And let me just add to that just a little bit. You absolutely right, Real. That's why me and you were laughing this week at all the comments that were coming out to myself. Oh, Shannon and Skip, he's done with Skip. Oh, this they last show together. And even Jerome Case, it was just funny to us because, like you say, Shannon loves that platform. I mean, Skip is a clown, okay? You're not gonna let a clown like that mess up, like I say, the good fortune you've been being able to do by being on this show, the platform that you have every day. Okay, Skip made a little tweet. Okay, Skip interrupted me. Fine, you know what? Forget it. I'll just explain this another time. Let's get on with the show correctly. So very professional. And even during the week and on future shows, you couldn't even tell something had happened. Mm-hmm. So I agree with you 100%, Real. Shannon is a pro in this game of life that he playing right here.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good comments. Joe Black is coping on another fantasy with a loss to Reverend Michael Clayton Harris, but he know I would have won. There's a possibility you would have won if the Bengals and Bills had finished the game, but we don't know. So Rev got third place, and you came before. All right. Thomas, the president, special note on Brother Clowney. My grandmother has always said, don't ever crap where you lay your head. He missed the memo. Oh, no.
That was dumb.
The VP is coping on Peyton Hills in ICU after rescuing some family members post-swimming accident. Wow, that's unfortunate. VP said Lieutenant Sonar didn't listen to the Red and Red Sports Show notes for today.
And nobody did, apparently.
This coping on the LeBron versus MJ debate is tiring. They're both great players. We will witness something that will probably not happen in another 30 years. Love or hate LBJ, he's first ballot Hall of Fame. The VP says Stetson Bennett is the Danny Almonte.
Oh, not Danny Almonte. They drug him up.
Series. Wow. All right. Brother Martin coping with his Hawks struggling under 500. Geez. Kelly didn't know about UConn's situation. The president has named Stetson Bennett Stetquavius. Joe Black says, stop coming at my quarterback because Hendon Hooker is only 3 months younger than Bennett. And I've looked it up when he said it. He's actually true, but they're not hyping up Hooker.
And Hooker, old man, too.
And Hooker had much better numbers than Bennett before he got hurt. And it sounds about, as the VP would say, sounds about right. All right, let's move on. The VP says Gino is sick as well. Major stuff going up there talking about UConn. They be trying to duck my women's Gamecock team. EOL, UConn, women's basketball. Kelly loved the Stetquavius comment. The VP is on fire with his comments today. Riverboat Ron was drinking the Wentz Kool-Aid. Me thinks that it was purple flavored. Going to what Armani was talking about, he said that's why kickers aren't real players. Kickers on the sidelines done crochet and crossword puzzles. That was a hell of a game, though. The kicker needs is scallywatched. Oh, wow. Snatched, rather. Rev, my bad. The Steelers are dope, helping their tradition and coach Tomlin's to possibly another win. That brought a smile to coaches.
No, it didn't, because I got something to say about that.
Joe Black is 2023. You're still in purgatory. I'm asking for 15 votes. All right. Good morning to you, brother Jerome Case. Glad to have you.
Oh boy.
The VP said undisputed we final with Shay Shay ain't going nowhere. Skip needs Shay Shay and Shannon needs Skip. Pity us. The VP got now good morning. Salutations to Pope. Shannon was off this week because he helped welcome a grandchild. He says, Mike, you know Burrow would have gotten those points. Please address me by my show name, Rev. Thank you very much. Moving on. My bad, Coach, about your Steelers.
No, it's not you, Jerry. I got something else.
Cousin, who is a Ohio State Buckeyes fan, he's still salty. His Buckeyes aren't playing Monday. Just drink playing and watch UGA win this back-to-back championship.
You want some pepper?
Huh?
I was gonna say this. Marcus wants some pepper since he's still salty.
It's okay, Marcus.
He grew up in Cincinnati. So
shake your leg, ain't have
definitely devastated because he even messaged me on Messenger. I thought my Ohio State Buckeyes were gonna beat y'all, but so glad they didn't. I don't have to hear nothing from Ohio State fans. The joke is still intact, getting ready to do this back-to-back action. The wake-up call has been given. TCU will be the ones that will have to deal with the pain that came from Ohio State nearly beating the Georgia Bulldogs. But we'll talk about that in just a second. Thank y'all so much, Reverend Nation, for sharing your dope, nope, and copes. You all always help make this show what it is. Let's go right on, and let's talk the Damar Hamlin tragedy. Many of you all definitely know about this situation where Damar Hamlin, after making a tackle against T. Higgins of the Cincinnati Bengals, he gets up and then just collapses and actually goes into cardiac arrest on the field. And his teammates, along with his opponents, are in shock. You've never seen grown men en masse cry like that and see such terror on the faces of million-dollar grown men football players like you saw on Monday. I'm going to start with Red. Red, what were your thoughts when you either saw or heard about the tragedy that took place, and what are your thoughts as we've heard news of his progress? What say you, Red?
Okay, let me second what you say, though. Much props to how everyone handled the situation. We couldn't applaud the medical team, the trainers, any more than we already have. So much props to you guys. We appreciate your service and thank you for being prepared and the things that you do, because you guys definitely save lives. So we applaud you and we commend you. Rev, well, like I say initially, we really didn't know what was going on because there was so many commercials going back and forth. But we knew something happened. We knew a player got hurt, but exactly to what extent initially we didn't know because they kept going back and in and out of commercials. And fortunately, I was actually I'm trying to think, where was I? Was I at? No. Okay. I was trying to, I usually be at work. No, I was at home. I was off work. So I was actually watching the game at home. And I heard a player got up and then he fell back down. So, okay, it went to commercial. They came back from commercial. You saw the ambulance out there. So I said, okay, well, man, I guess he was seriously hurt. And once I heard that they had to perform CPR, wow, I initially was like, wow, CPR? Did he lose consciousness? I mean, he must have lost a pulse or something. You start seeing players' faces, Josh Allen faces. You start seeing defensive players crying and whatnot. So now you're wondering, what is going on? Something serious is happening. You see players kneeling down on the field. You see huddles start to get bigger and bigger. You see them holding hands, everybody kneeling down, praying. So now you're wondering, what is going on? This is something truly serious. And then it started, I couldn't remember a moment like this. The last time I saw a moment was like this was when the guy from the Detroit Lions, Reggie Brown, was on the field like that. And I think he had lost consciousness and then he had to perform CPR. So that initially brought back those feelings because I knew something serious was happening. You saw the ambulance on the field. You saw players from both teams huddled up together. Now you know something serious is going on. If you see players from both teams all huddled up together, coaches down on the field, folks crying, emotions over everybody's face, you are seriously worried something is going on. I seriously thought somebody's life was either about to be lost or close to being lost. I mean, that's how serious the situation felt as a fan. So when you initially hear what happened, all only thing you can do now is just start praying and just hoping that God has a much bigger plan for this young man, because now it's out of our hands. And only thing we were doing, I'm sure all sports fans doing at this moment, were just praying, everybody on their knees, praying, using all their prayers and hoping that this young man regains consciousness and he doesn't lose his life at this particular moment, especially on the football field. I mean, who knows how things would have happened had the NFL had to deal with a player's death right there on the field. So thank God that we don't have to talk about that. Like I say, Rev, it was just a lot of emotions, a lot of unanswered questions. But at the end of the day, the only thing we were hoping for was just a positive outcome for this young man, Damar Hamlin. And like you say, I want to commend the doctors, the medical teams, the Cincinnati medical teams, everything that everyone did for this young man, because it seems you seem to have, whatever you did, you seem to have saved this young man's life. You took a big sigh of relief out of me, out of sports fans across the nation, because what we did not want was a young man dying on the football field, just dying during the football season. You don't want to have a dark cloud over this football season. You remember the 2022 football season? Yeah, we remember. That's the season that the young man passed away. So we didn't want to have to think about that. But like I say, just a tremendous job by all the medical experts, the trainers involved. I mean, we couldn't commend them more. Thank God that the young man regained consciousness. The breathing tube is out of his system. He's up talking. He was talking to teammates, FaceTiming his team yesterday. So the best possible, well, he's not up walking. The best possible outcome is he can get back to where he was before the game last week. But right now, it's a lot of positive outlooks for a situation, and thank God that he's okay, that he seems that he's gonna be okay, and I can commend the medical team and all of the trainers and medical personnel who knew what to do, was prepared what to do, and did everything possible to save this young man's life. I commend the medical department, the medical field. Thank you for being prepared, and thank God that this young man is still amongst us. Damar Hamlin, prayers, buddy. Heart and prayers are with you and your loved ones.
Coach, jump in there.
I mean, you look at a situation that could have been a whole lot worse than it was, and everybody's saying, the Lord is good. Thank you for bringing that young man back. But I'm gonna slide to the side, and I'm gonna ask whoever they are. I don't know them by name. I don't know them by whatever. Why are you all, some of you, blaming T. Higgins for this? I just need somebody to tell me why you blaming him for a seemingly innocent tackle. And like the guy said, they collided at the exact time of a heartbeat, and that's what happened with him, and it stopped his heart for that time. But why are people destroying T. Higgins and making him be like the villain? T. Higgins didn't do anything. It was a tackle. He tackled the man. Hamlin tackled him. Nobody expected that to happen, but I'm seeing that a lot, and I'm like, wow, that's crazy. You dropping the bomb on him, and he's innocent. That young man, I pray for him because a lot of this, like you said earlier, Rebbe, it's a lot of mental stuff going on. And if you don't think that young man is having a lot of mental issues or had mental issues dealing with that, seeing a guy get into a situation like that and he was indirectly responsible for it, then you don't know what's going on. Because back when I played baseball, there was a game that I was involved in, and there was a fly ball hit toward the outfield. It was me, our center fielder, and the shortstop converging on the ball. And what happened was I stopped, but our center fielder collided with the shortstop, and his knee hit him in the back of the neck. And at that moment, he was laying on the ground, and he told us he couldn't move his legs. And we were like, no, man, don't say that. But in reality, he was paralyzed on a seemingly innocent fly ball. You see him every day in a baseball game, but he got paralyzed, and he lived for, I think, a few years. And then he died, and his career was gone. But, the fact that he got paralyzed, nobody blamed our center fielder for it. Nobody said it's your fault. Everybody stood behind him because they were going through it. And that's what I think should be happening with T. Higgins. Stop talking to T. Higgins like he's the villain. He did whatever he did. He caused all this to happen. Thank God the young man is going to be okay. And like I said, you pray for both of all those people involved. Pray for him, Hamlin, and everybody else.
Thanks for your comments, Coach. Armani?
I mean, it was a moment where it seems like all the sports stopped for a second. And I feel like that moment was needed so we can all kind of grasp and kind of be there for each other, and I felt like that's what the Bengals did. That's what the Bills did, that they, put the game to the side for a second, focus on life. And, I'm happy that he's able to get up. Well, I'm going to say get up, but go to hospital and, just breathe again. Even if it was through a breathing tube, he was able to get revived and get the treatment that he needed. So, again, big ups to the medical staff because that's not an easy job. Those guys, did a great job of, trying to get him back. It's just tough. It's tough dealing with things like that because it was like Coach said, it was a regular routine tackle. It wasn't nothing that warranted that you would think that, oh man, he's messed up or, he just fell to the ground and, and that was that. So, thank God, give ups to the big man above and, that he's okay. And apparently he's going to be okay. It just gives us a wake up call. It can happen to anybody on the football, it can happen to anybody. So, great job in NFLPA. Great job, medical staff, and Bengals fans. Great job of handling that situation with a lot of class, consoling other fans. That was a great moment for everybody to, come together and just put the game to the side and, just be there for one another, because it wasn't easy to deal with. So, yeah, those are my thoughts.
Let me just share my thoughts. I'm Rev, so of course I'm gonna put another type spin on it, but we literally witnessed a miracle. And we witnessed in real time on a major platform the power of prayer. Matter of fact, I'm preaching a sermon tomorrow that deals with the scripture in Isaiah chapter 55, around verses 8 and 9. It talks about God's ways are not our ways, and God's thoughts are not our thoughts. God's ways are higher than our thoughts. And I think we have to realize that God showed that God is still a God who works miracles. And we see that power, that we saw the power of prayer work. One of the things I think everybody should take away from what took place is that it doesn't matter how much money you have, how much influence you have, all of that can matter not in one instance. It didn't matter how much money that was on the field. That money was not going to save Hamlin's life. It didn't matter how much power and position, influence those players, owners had. It was not going to save that young man's life. So I hope that from all that has transpired, somebody realizes the power of God and how much we need God in the midst of all that we go through in life, because our money can't save us all the time. Our positions can't save us. Our networks, who we know, none of that stuff can save us. None of that stuff can matter. But only thing is God being in control that can save us. And I just wanted to share this last thing. God works in mysterious ways. So many of you all heard that Damar Hamlin had a toy drive. His goal was only to raise $2,500. From what happened, what many of us see as bad, it turns out to work for his good. But now his toy drive has over $8 million that was raised. And his goal was $2,500. Did y'all just hear what I just said? His goal was $2,500 because of what happened to him. Nobody knew him before what happened to him. And God took what was bad and turned it out for good. And now this man has $9 million or $8 million, and the count is still rising.
Right, rising.
Still rising to give
rising up
to folk who need it the most. So you can't tell me that my God is not good and how God can turn something bad into something good. Red, I saw your Baptist finger up for a minute, so you can close us out on this comment. What you got?
Real, man. Like I say, it's hard to follow you, man. What you said, ups to you, because I agree 100%. And I'll go even further. Just the power of prayer. You're right. I think it this definitely helped this young man. It's something I saw this week that I never thought I would saw. Dan Orlovsky leading a prayer on NFL Live. That's something that you never seen in sports. I mean, they literally stopped talking what they were talking about to hold hands and to say a prayer for Damar Hamlin. And like I say, you really seen the religious side of a lot of people come out this week with this situation. And I think that's positive too, that we've seen a lot of religious emotion come out from a lot of people, let you know that they're very spiritual, that we as a people, we are very spiritual, And in moments like this, like Rev, like what you said, your status doesn't matter, your positions don't matter, your bank account doesn't matter, your race doesn't matter. None of that stuff matters. Only thing that matters at this moment when we see something like this is the power of prayer and the power of the human spirit. And I think those moments were on display to the highest extent this week by our brother Damar Hamlin. And it just really touched me in a positive way. The positiveness of prayer, the positiveness from people coming together, wishing nothing but good things for this man to get better and survive. And like you say, his tour drive with only $2,500 goal that is nearly in double-digit millions of dollars. God is definitely good. And like Rev said, God works in mysterious ways, and power to the Lord up above.
All right, that's a good way to end this segment. Thank you, Red, for your closing comments. And, we just thank God for all that is happening with Hamlin, all the stuff that's happening surround the Hamlin situation. Jerome said the Rev and Deacon have spoken. The church say amen. Sister Sylvia said, let us all resolve to give God our time, service, and praise in regular worship. The VP said humanity showed up. He believed in us and continues to show us in a multitude of ways how he gets down. No matter what or who you believe in, he just reminded us once again, he's here and he's everywhere. That's a good way. That's good stuff right there from everybody. We appreciate what you had to say. I think that's a good way to let's just pause right here and we'll go right into halftime and then we'll talk about the national championship game.
Good idea.
Of halftime. All right. Thank y'all so much for watching the first half of the Red and Rev Sports Show. We got some basketball. We got some college football talk. We got some NFL talk coming your way right after halftime. All right. We'll see you in just a minute. All right, so we are back on the Red and Red Sports Show. And Red is back with us. All right, gentlemen. Let's jump on in there. Let's get ready to talk some more sports talk. Let's see what somebody had to say. I missed last week's show. Has the documentary Coach Prime on Amazon been discussed? We discussed it a little bit on last week. Just a little bit.
Boo.
I wasn't on last week's show either, but I have that show saved in my watch list.
All you do is get on YouTube, you'll see.
All right. Let's move on real quickly. We got a championship game to talk about. Armani said he got some fire for us.
Uh-oh, the religion may be tested here.
So tell us what you got to talk about, Armani. Before we go to the national championship game, tell us.
I was gonna let y'all just. Oh, okay.
Tell us how you really feel about Georgia beating Ohio State, and then
Let us hear some of them. This dragon breathing fire you got.
Give us what you really want to talk about when it comes to the national championship game. Go ahead on and give your picks. So go from the semifinals. We won't even talk Michigan TCU.
No, I'm not gonna talk to you.
We don't want to hear nothing about that. But go ahead on. Talk to us, man. What you got to say?
I mean, in all honesty, and I'm gonna just keep it real. The better team didn't win that game, and I mean, Georgia. For the first few quarters of that game, I was like, "Yeah, this is it." Like they couldn't stop. They couldn't stop Marvin Harrison Jr. Like I said, would be a problem. But the better team didn't win, but the better coach won. Kirby Smart was the better coach, and he outclassed Ryan Day on every level in the fourth quarter. Georgia defense was average at best that game. Might be a little bit below average in the passing game. Jalen Carter, non-existent. So, and then it don't help that. And I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that Ohio State, just beat up on Georgia, but I just felt like all the fans were like, "Oh, we were looking." I think what happened is Georgia thought they were good enough to just go past Ohio State. I mean, that's just my personal opinion, but I mean, at the end of the day, Georgia won. They came up clutch at the end, and then shaky leg couldn't make a field goal. So I mean, and then I'm gonna give man, CJ Stroud proved that he is one of the best two quarterbacks in college football because he simply went out there and carved Georgia's defense up in a blender. So I mean, the better team didn't win, the better coach won, though. I'll say that. And I think Georgia will just go past. They'll go past TCU because I don't think TCU is anywhere near as talented as Ohio State is. So,
wait a minute.
Now, let me ask you this question: are you saying Ohio State is the better team just in general, or was the better team for that day?
They were the better team on the field that day.
Okay, all right, I'll give you that because Georgia didn't play its best game. I'll give you that. Okay, all right, Coach. We know you were pulling for Ohio State for standing purposes as well as for cheering purposes because I know you wanted to let Red have it. But what are your thoughts? Go ahead.
Go ahead, Coach. Give it to me.
I can still let him have it with that whack 40-17 prediction. I can let him have it on that. I knew Ohio State pretty much had the athletes to compete. I'll say that. They had the athletes. They had some good athletes to compete. And the three things that changed that game, that made that game, or maybe four. Number one, Kirby Smart's timeout before that fake field goal, that's a stroke of genius right there. When you recognize that something like that and you stop it before it gets started, hey, that could have saved you the ball game, even though Ohio State had 12 men on the field, but still, the referee didn't see it, so that could have saved you the ball game right there, which it helped. Number two, Junior, Marvin Harrison Jr. getting obliterated, that took away a weapon.
Yep.
When you take away a weapon, hey, that's one less person you got to worry about. And I don't think anybody else in Ohio State's wide out scared. They had some players that played. I can't remember the guy's name is Zuki. I can't remember his name. He did well, but that's a weapon gone because he had over 100 yards and 2 touchdowns and a half. So take that weapon away. Like I predicted at the beginning, Georgia's wideouts showed up and showed out. Georgia's wideouts made a big difference because remember, the big O Washington got hurt and he was gone. Weapon gone. So that's why Ohio State, a reason they was able to hang in there, weapon gone. Brock Bowers, they tried to make him pedestrian, but those wideouts for Georgia really said, hey, we gonna step up and we gonna win this game for our team. And the play where the Ohio State cornerback got drunk, I guess he had too much to drink, Gatorade or something, and fell down and left it wide open. The wide open, he scored a touchdown. That was huge too. But the biggest, a big thing was when the porn star Stetson Bennett got the ball and drove down on Ohio State like they weren't even there. They weren't even there. He just took the ball, pass it 15 yards, pass it 20, pass it 50, just walked it down the field. Ohio State defense was on their heels looking lost. I'm like, well, dog, Ohio State, y'all done you ain't stop them, but you managed to keep them within check. But he just walked down the field like, excuse me. And then the most egregious thing of all, which has been said about Ryan Day several times, he is not a big game coach.
Nope.
The last series was absolutely terrible. You get C.J. Stroud to run the ball down to the 30-yard line, field goal range. You are there. You there. You ain't got to do nothing else. And then you try a dumb running play, which made absolutely zero sense. And you don't try to run some quick outs, move the ball up the field, getting better field goal position. That was terrible. Then you running for your life, had to throw the ball away. I'm like, for real, you lost yardage. And then you line up the Ohio State kicker to kick a 50-something yarder. I immediately turned away from the game because I knew he was going to miss. And as he showed, that thing looked like it was caught up in a wind tunnel. It looked like they opened the door or the windows or something and wind blew. That thing, it wasn't even close. So, Ryan Day, you kind of messed your team up. You snatched defeat from the jaws of the victory, or whatever they call it, because that was terrible coaching down the stretch. Terrible play calling. C.J. Stroud got you down there, and you go away and try to be cute or something. And blew that game tremendously. Georgia, I think they didn't have a choice. They kind of scored too fast, giving them time. But look what he did with the time. He didn't do anything. So Georgia won 42-41, not 40-17, not 40-3, 80-0 or whatever. It was a game. So, hey.
So does TCU beat Georgia on Monday?
Woo!
Now we're gonna go ahead and combine.
No.
Just calm down.
All right, because
Monday, you don't have to be so angry when you say it.
Coach
TCU ain't got a chance. TCU.
Coach needs to see this for a moment.
No.
This is Red has a 1-game lead on Coach.
TCU.
Here we are. 1 game left, 1 game lead. Red has a 1-game lead. So
can we all admit this? Duggar is a better quarterback than C.J. Stroud. Yes or no?
I don't know.
No.
Well, let me not say better. Let me rephrase my words.
No.
He's a bit more mobile.
Okay.
He's a bit more mobile
that's fair.
than Stroud.
Yeah.
He makes certain plays when, he ain't exactly no track star, but he makes plays with his legs sometimes.
Now, can he make those plays with his arm?
Oh, he can throw it down the field now. I've seen him sling.
C.J. Stroud.
One of us can throw it down the field, Coach.
Arm talent.
I don't know if he has his arm strength, but he has a cat, Quincy Johnson, that's a wideout, 6'4", 215, who is going to be a matchup problem again. There we had Harrison, who was the best in the land. Now you got Johnson, who's a great wideout, who can go get it too. Now, they talked about Keely Wingo being on Harrison, and I saw
Got
Ringo
smoked.
was not that bad. It's the rest of the team that couldn't stop Harrison. Ringo was somewhere else. It was the rest of the team he was torturing. Because Ringo he didn't hold him down when he played good defense. But anybody else on Harrison, he lit them up.
Thank you, Coach. I'm glad you noticed that.
So you look at TCU. I can't. They got a good running back system. Both of their running backs are pretty decent. Now, will they be able to run? Hey, there's another story for another day. But and TCU and they say they got a very underrated defense, but don't look like anybody playing defense in these games. Wasn't no defense in both of those semifinals.
And your prediction is, Coach?
If TCU is in the game in the fourth quarter, even if they're behind, they got a chance to win. They're a good come behind team.
Who's gonna win?
The score gonna be 35-31 TCU.
All right, you're on record because 35-31, he's on record. Because if by chance Red does not choose TCU to win, we got to go with the score tiebreaker.
All right.
All right, so Coach is on the record, TCU 35-31. Now, Red, you've heard the guys talk about the game, Georgia.
Yeah.
And, Ohio State. You did have a very provocative thought last week. You thought it was going to be a breeze. So first, let's hear your comments about your thoughts about the whole Ohio State-Georgia game. And then we'll ask you what your prediction is in the national championship game, which can help determine the Pick'em's challenge for this particular show.
Okay. I want to give Coach credit because he actually bought some fire. I don't know what our money was bringing, but a little heat wave. But
I stated nothing but facts, sir. I stated nothing but facts.
Okay, well, facts don't equal fire to me, but appreciate the facts though. But Coach bought some fire. He did. Rev, I will say that game did humble me some. Oh. I mean, but Coach, you got to give me credit. I did correctly predict we would score 40 plus. Now, I didn't think that we would allow 40 plus, but I did get my score right. So at least give me that much credit. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, man, you was right. Ohio State definitely was ready. They was ready for us. They weren't gonna just let us show up and just walk all over them. It was a great game. I hate great games when my team's involved because it had me on the edge of my seat, biting my nails all the way to the very end. But when my team does pull those games out, I feel relieved. I feel good. I feel like we accomplished something, and we definitely did because we're still alive and we're playing in the national championship in 2 days. So we definitely accomplished something. Coach's crucial plays of the game, he was absolutely right. He left out a few. Let me go back and review. These 4 plays, Rev, had either of these plays went either way, we probably not seeing here with a victory today. First play, of course, the Kirby calling the timeout to nullify the fake punt. And true, they were 12 men on the field. I don't think a lot of people, they were saying it after the fact, but at that point during the game, I don't think people noticed it was 12 men on the field. But thankfully, Kirby got that timeout call because, boy, that was one very clutch play because had they converted that 4th down punt, probably could have ran the clock out on us. So we definitely needed that play. Another play that was crucial in the game that I thought Coach was going to bring up, the review on Brock on the first down when it was a 4th down and he kept his legs from being on the ground. And when they went to commercial, I guess they were reviewing it. When they got back from commercial, they had already reviewed it and gave us the first down. So that play right there, it kept that drive going. We needed that play because we needed those points from that play. So definitely needed that play. The targeting call on number 22 on Marvin Harrison Jr., yeah, that getting reversed. That kept us in the game right there because had that play gone the other way. That probably would have been more points for Ohio State at that point. And 4 points, a touchdown is different than a field goal. So, and also a play in the first half, Coach, you probably forgot about the illegal motion in the second quarter on Ohio State when they were going for it on 4th and 1, and they got that illegal motion call. That saved us some points right there because we got the ball back, went down and scored a touchdown. So those 4 plays right there were very crucial into UGA becoming victorious that night. Like I say, I'm happy my Bulldogs won, but like Kirby said after the game, we still got a lot of work to do. We got a lot of work to do. We think we're gonna beat TCU. I know we're gonna beat them, but we have got to get stuff together. Our passing defense didn't have its best game. Our defense as a whole didn't have its best game. Stetson definitely was not. He was everything me and Rev thought he was early in the game, but he did pull some plays off late in the game in the 4th quarter. You want to say clutch plays, but like I say, Stetson didn't have his best game, and it almost cost us. So overall, my Bulldogs won, but it was not a typical Bulldog fashion. So I'm happy we survived. I'm happy we playing that national championship game, but we got to play a much better game if we think we're going to beat TCU. We got to bring Bulldog-type performances to this national championship game because Ohio State was just like this from getting us. But one great thing I will say was so nice to see us clinch this victory at the stroke of midnight. Oh, what a happy new year it was for me and my Bulldogs. So sorry for shaky leg, but hey, that's how it goes. You get paid to make kicks. You didn't make the kick. My Bulldogs won, and that's how it goes. I'm not looking back. I'm looking forward. Bulldogs won. We survived. I'll see you on Monday, TCU. Real?
Well, now you got to give us your prediction on Monday night.
Oh, wait. My prediction. Well, I get a prediction that the way we were going to play against Ohio State, now we definitely going to bring the Bulldog type to TCU. Bulldogs 45, TCU 17.
Oh, my God. Again.
One of these games we gonna play like we supposed to play, Coach. Ohio State, okay, they were ready for, but we better be ready for TCU, man. We better not come in there playing because, like you say, man, TCU ain't the type of team you want to mess around with. So we're gonna be ready. We ain't foolish. We're gonna be ready for them.
You're missing somebody.
Who?
The dog Ugga will not make the trip. Ugga will not be there.
Yeah, I know.
Y'all in trouble.
Oh man. So Red gonna make sure that blowout is coming in one of these games.
I'm coming one of these games. You're gonna have me on the edge of my seat both times now.
Armani, what's your prediction with the score? I don't think you gave it.
I'm gonna go 34-28 Georgia.
All right, so he gives them a 6-point lead. I think the game went Ohio State's way because of what I shared last week on how it would be close. I think the Bulldogs did not put their foot on the throat of Ohio State after they stopped them on the first drive, had a chance to score a touchdown if Stetson Bennett just hands the ball off to McIntosh instead of trying to run it, because McIntosh had a clear path to the end zone where they had to settle for a field goal, and then the field goal kicker missed that field goal, and that gave life to Ohio State. Had Georgia scored a touchdown after the defense had just stopped Ohio State, that would have put a lot of doubt in Ohio State's mind, and that game could have gone the way that Red talked about in his score. But Georgia gave them life by letting them score first, not capitalizing on when they had a chance to score first, and that gave Ohio State new life. And that's when C.J. Strauss and the players started believing we could play with them. And one thing you cannot do is give people who already to somewhat in some kind of way are defeated mentally, you can't let them have that hope. And that's what Georgia did. And that's why Georgia was scratching all through the game, because they gave Ohio State hope. and they capitalized, and CJ Stroud was like, bump this, I'm about to do my thing. And he did his thing. And Marvin Harrison did his thing, and then Georgia was in trouble. But you could tell where I'm going to disagree with Armani. The better team was Georgia. And the reason why they were the better team is because on 2 separate occasions, Georgia came back from double-digit leads. That shows you that they were the better team. If Ohio State was the better team, they stomped on Georgia by blowing them out when you already got them up by 11. Georgia could score in some cases at will. The biggest problem that Georgia had experienced for 3 quarters is that Stetson Bennett was believing all that hype that people gave him. He really believes he's a Heisman Trophy candidate. That was more of a career achievement award rather than him being truly a Heisman Trophy candidate. He was up there smelling himself. And that's why I posted early on in the first quarter, the worst thing that happened to Stetson Bennett was that he was considered a Heisman Trophy candidate. His numbers did not warrant being in New York. His age did not warrant being in New York. You know, so Stetson Bennett, believing the press that these folk are giving him, that was not well deserved, cost the Bulldogs, and even Kirby Smart stated it at halftime that the quarterback was basically killing them. So he knew that Stetson Bennett was not playing within himself. As bad as the Bulldogs played, the Bulldogs still came out victorious, which showed that they were the better team. Ohio State played the best game that they could play.
Yeah.
What else could they have done better besides not committing those penalties? But game-wise, they played a pretty clean game. They played great offense. Their defense did the best that they could do against Georgia's offense, and they still came up short. So Georgia, if they play like they played last Monday, they got a chance to lose the game. You can't play like that consistent.
Nope.
Georgia's defense has to show up. If Georgia's defense shows up, it's not a game.
No.
All right. I think Dugan's going to get some runs, but here's the thing. As Marvin Harrison learned, those Bulldogs can stick. Unfortunately, he got hurt. If Brother Dugans keeps on running, he ain't going to be able to run like that for 4 quarters. All right? So
I hope number 22 okay.
If TCU thinks that's the game plan, TCU's backup better be ready to play some ball.
Oh Lord, Rev. I don't want the backup in there. We know we don't
either, because Georgia doesn't do well with backups.
No, especially somebody we ain't never seen before.
Yeah. Georgia, but I go Georgia 40, TCU 26.
Rev, now you know the absence of Big O, Daniel Washington, may make a difference.
Nah.
You don't think so?
Nah. You saw how many points they scored without him against Ohio State?
Wait a minute.
I didn't hear what you said.
Coach, you talking about the tight end?
Yeah.
No, he's playing.
Did you see how many points Georgia scored without him against Ohio State?
Jerome, I'll agree with you on that. Marvin Harrison don't get hurt. Ohio State winning that game. I'll agree with you on that. That's about it.
That's speculation.
Y'all couldn't stop him. Couldn't stop him. But
that's speculation. But
it is what it is.
It's speculation. We got to go with what happened.
Yeah, exactly. So all this, if he didn't get hurt, the fact is,
can Georgia
advance?
If Washington didn't get hurt,
right,
lose the game.
I mean, he wasn't as big of a factor as Marvin Harrison was.
That's not
because he wasn't there. He was hurt.
He's a factor as a blocker. He's a factor in a mismatch. If you got to constantly put somebody, a DB on a 6'7" tight end the whole game, guess what? That opens up the game for somebody else. That opens up the game for Brock Bowers. And Brock Bowers can't get doubles. So, you know, you can go on this if. Injuries are part of the game. And Ohio State's supposed to have been recruited on the same level as Georgia, so it's supposed to be plug and play, baby. I mean, let's think about it. Georgia lost Noel Smith.
Yeah, Nolan Smith, our best defensive.
First-round draft pick. They lost the guy who replaced him, Chambliss, the white kid,
right,
in the game, and he made a great play early on the game. So, you know, it could go both ways, man.
It evens out our money. Come on, you got to admit that.
No, the only reason I say it don't even out is because when you lose somebody like that early, it's easier to adjust. You can adjust early, and then it's like the chemistry with the players. You know, when you lose a guy in the game, it knocks off the chemistry when you have to plug in somebody else. But I mean,
let's be honest. Now, the kid Marvin Harrison was injured for about a month, so Ohio State was playing football without him for about a month this season. I'm saying he was hurt for a few games this season.
I mean, who was playing that said he wasn't gonna play, and then he declared for the draft and said he wasn't gonna play in the champion. I mean,
you talking about the other dude?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's crazy. Now, what kind of guys you gonna miss the playoff game because you get ready for the draft, dude?
But it is what it is. It is what it is.
No, we playing in the playoffs, buddy. You got to show up.
What it is, Armani?
It is what it is.
There's a new football sheriff in town, and it's not Alabama. That's what.
Oh, here we go.
That's right.
You gotta have the kind of dominance.
I forgot, man.
You gotta have the kind of before you say that, have the dominance we had and then talk. You gotta go. You gotta have 5 championships in 10 years. You gotta have 5 championships in 10 years. You gotta have 5 championships.
On Monday, that's back to back.
Okay.
So what you saying? That's not dominant. That's not dominant. That's not dominant.
Not Alabama.
That's not dominant.
Not Alabama dominant.
Oh,
Alabama ain't never had no.
Alabama only went back to back once.
Okay, y'all. Okay, and
once.
what do you mean? Y'all ain't even went back to back yet. Go back to back, then talk.
What was the key word you just said?
Yeah.
Thank you. Moving on.
We gotta have. No, I'm not gonna let you get away with this, Rev. You gotta have the type of dominance Alabama had in a decade of football to be considered on that type of level. Now, y'all. If y'all go back to back,
everybody has said Georgia has replaced Alabama in this.
Really? You the only one still living in the past.
No. Everybody.
No.
Georgia has
they have our money.
No.
They've been on out. They've been slurping us this
y'all
week.
Y'all gotta if y'all win 3, 4, okay, I'll give it to you.
All we gotta do is win one day.
No.
If you win back to back, bro, that's something that nobody has done since Alabama, and that's been over a decade.
And real, the college playoff ain't nobody went back to back since the college playoff.
Back to back in the college playoff. Y'all did it in the BCS era.
Thank you.
Oh, so now what a way to move the goalposts. Okay,
that's the truth.
Okay,
is it harder to make the college playoff or money?
Championship is okay. All right. Okay.
We're right. Championship is championship, and we about to go 2 back to back. So you're right.
5 in 10 years, then come talk. Win 5 in 10 years.
I'm talking after Monday night.
For real. You might well get ready for UGA fans talking, because y'all turds, y'all dominance is over with. Okay, I told y'all that.
So we not, again, let's keep this show. If y'all saying we're not going to win another one, okay. All right.
Not with us standing in the way you want.
Like I said,
so we're not winning another one. No, so to keep it funny, we're not winning another one.
Last thing I'm gonna say this.
We're not winning another one.
Win the SEC West. Let's talk about that. Win the SEC West, because you're not the defending SEC West champions. How about that?
Rev,
how about that? Win the SEC West again.
You sound crazy, Rev.
Y'all gotta worry about LSU.
You got a man who just got to town win the SEC West. Don't let that man come from Notre Dame to LSU and win the SEC West.
That's embarrassing.
Win the SEC West. A man in his first.
Embarrassing. We got okay.
You didn't even.
I'm gonna let y'all have y'all moment.
Check this out, Red. He didn't even have his players, and he beat Alabama. Alabama came back with the reigning Heisman Trophy winner, and they still couldn't win the SEC West.
You got beat. You got beat by.
They came back with the #1 defensive player in the nation and still couldn't win the SEC West.
You got beat by Coach Cough Drops rejects, man.
Have your moment.
That man ain't even recruited his players yet and still won the SEC.
Coach Cough Drop beat y'all too. What are you talking about, Rev? They smoked y'all. What are we talking about?
They had the better team.
Let's not go there.
They had the better team. They had Joe Burrow. They had the better team.
Okay, right. So what are we talking about?
Now, what have they done since Coach Cough Drop got fired? They won a national championship and they're about to win another one. What has Alabama done? They can't win the SEC West. Win the SEC West and holler back at me.
Have we not won a championship since he left? Okay. All right.
USC is coming.
Coach Cough Drop lost in he won the championship in 2019.
We won in 2020.
Okay. What'd y'all win this year? What'd y'all win this year?
Nothing. What do you mean?
What have y'all won with Bryce Young?
Nothing.
All right, so
Lord.
That's what you've done for us lately.
No, because how can you say y'all taking over as the more dominant team than we? Y'all have not even had the decade of dominance that we have had. If you want to be real, y'all having the same dominance that Clemson is having. That Clemson had.
Clemson.
Yes.
Okay.
Now the back-to-back. Now they haven't been a back-to-back champion in a while now.
I understand that part. I understand.
I'm just saying.
All right, so you won nothing with your current quarterback. You won nothing with your current defensive player of the year. So you didn't even win the SEC West.
Okay, Rev.
So silence is in order. Thank you.
USC is coming back.
Now I'm ready. You just got to take the loss this year. I don't even know why you're trying to hate.
No, because y'all. I mean, how can you say that and y'all have not? Okay.
We didn't dominate.
At this point, y'all just hating. At this point,
Coach, come on now. Y'all got to be.
Y'all just hating.
Y'all can't be losing to Tulane now. Come on, Coach.
That's okay. Hey, we came in SEC territory and just stole one of their best players.
That's what y'all doing is steal
USC.
But USC needs to steal some defensive players.
That's okay.
Yeah, you ain't lying, Coach. Y'all got to get that defense.
Y'all better tell Lincoln Riley he need to get some defense. Because that's what he suffered in Oklahoma. His defense was terrible in Oklahoma. His defense is terrible in USC. He needs to get a new defense coordinator.
Rev, are we sure Colorado can't beat them with that defense?
Oh, maybe.
Oh, no.
Maybe. 1 year in USC, he took them from
the transfer portal took y'all. The transfer portal took y'all from nothing to relevant.
You don't tell me everybody ain't using the transfer portal.
Not like USC did last year.
That's okay. That's what you got to do. If they come now and then we get them,
but you got to build chemistry, Coach.
Coach, you do admit y'all got to get your defense fixed, right?
Oh, we gonna get the defense. That's what we doing right now.
I hate you, Jay, but Armani sounds a bit bitter.
Jealous,
I know.
Man, jealous.
I don't even know.
Jealous of. How can I be jealous if we? Okay.
Y'all haven't done anything lately. Y'all didn't even win the SEC West.
Okay, Rev.
It's true. It's facts.
How you gonna be talking about championships and y'all ain't won the SEC West this year? You up here telling me what y'all did in the past?
Okay, Rev. You sound.
What have you done in the present? Okay. What have you done in the present?
Okay, Rev. Moving on. All right, moving on.
The season is still going on, and Bryce Young has declared.
Okay.
I thought you were big on facts, Armani. You can't even accept the facts of y'all.
What do you mean?
Hey, Red. William Anderson declared for the draft, and the season is still going on.
I know.
Moving on.
I wonder why.
Moving on.
Why are they declaring for the draft when the season is still going on?
Moving on.
I thought you were gonna bring the fire today, Armani. It seemed like you get watered down.
I mean, I said nothing but facts.
There is one game left in the season, and Alabama players are declaring for the draft. Why is that?
Because they had nothing to play for.
They training while Georgia preparing for championships.
They were playing at 12 o'clock noon last year when Paw Patrol was on. And I had to decide that I want to watch the Mickey Mouse Club.
Defensive players, we gonna be all right.
Well, y'all need a new defensive coordinator.
Well, the Grinch, the Grinch,
guy from Oklahoma.
he don't do well around Christmas time. The Grinch don't. They always beat him. So, you got to get rid of the Grinch.
But check this out, Armani. Don't let another first-year coach come up in the SEC West and beat y'all. Because there's a guy who got a history beating y'all. And he got some talent in Mississippi.
Uh-oh.
Hugh Freeze, don't sleep on him. So that's why you talking about Georgia.
Okay, Rev.
Make sure y'all can win the SEC West.
Okay, Rev. Okay.
Because LSU already got you.
Okay,
Auburn got a guy who's already beaten you when you coach at Mississippi.
And we won a championship that year.
And then Jumbo Fisher, if he get it right, Jimbo.
Jumbo.
Well, you see who Jimbo teaming up with.
Hey, Jimbo. Oh, Lord. Oh, God. Bobby Petrino.
Yeah, right. Did you miss that, Rev? That he hired Bobby Petrino to be his OC?
Yeah.
Now I ain't gonna talk about Petrino. He know offense now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They got something to work. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That was a good move.
So,
but you're gonna have to lock him in his office where he can't get out.
I ain't for the sayings on Petrino.
I'm not sold on Alabama football when they couldn't win a national championship with Bryce.
Coach, you're gonna have to lock them away from the cheerleading squad.
You say that one more time. I'm sorry.
I'm not sold on Alabama football when they could not win a championship with Bryce Young.
Oh, okay.
Talking about Rev, you sound. Oh my God.
I sound what?
Wait a minute. So you don't think y'all should have won a championship with Bryce Young?
No, yeah, definitely. We should have won one with him.
So why you put on Rev saying then?
You got more faith in this backup who y'all trotting out there than Bryce Young?
No, what it is, Rev, he just can't handle that we clowning him right now. That's what it is.
When y'all get 6 and 10, call me. Get 6 and 10, call me.
Okay, so we can't celebrate. We can't celebrate none of our championships.
Back is nothing.
Get us half as many.
Back to back is nothing.
That's cute. We've been there, done that. That's cute. That's cute. Been there, done that.
But it would be cute if y'all could at least win the SEC West.
Been there, done that.
It'd be cute if y'all win the SEC West next year. It'd be cute.
Okay.
It'd be cute to find y'all in the SEC championship game. It'd be cute.
Our money, you get exposed right now as a sore loser.
How am I getting exposed if I'm telling the facts? Talking about I'm not sold on Alabama football when we've dominated the decade of college football. How can you
talking about the
matter of fact?
You talking about that dominance ain't gonna stop y'all from beating Miles next year.
Oh, wait a minute. No, wait a minute.
Okay. Go ahead.
I mean, not Les Miles, the other guy from Notre Dame. None of them championships in the 5 championships got y'all to win the SEC.
I want you to keep that same energy because what goes up must come down. Don't bring up them past championships when y'all come down. Don't bring them up. I don't want to hear it.
They got a champion. They're the defending champions now. They about to be the champion this year.
Okay, but I'm saying when y'all do come down,
Armani, you gotta wait for those moments to happen.
It'll happen.
Oh, but it will. So you don't even want to talk about what's going on presently, but now you're supposed to be Madam Cleo now. You predicting the future now.
No, okay. I just want y'all to keep the same energy. That's all I'm saying.
When have we not kept the energy?
I don't want to hear y'all talking about these past championships. Oh, Georgia won, that we won. Okay, I'm just saying.
Okay. It would be within the last 2 to 3 years, wouldn't it?
Uh-oh.
We've won a championship in the last 3 years. So what are you talking about?
But y'all this year didn't make the SEC West. Y'all didn't win the SEC West.
Didn't even make the playoffs.
Didn't even make the playoffs. Playing on 12 o'clock, and you call. Come on, man. Next, let's go on. We're going to skip some of the 5 for 5. We went over too much. Let's go to basketball real quickly, and we'll just deal with a couple of topics right here. Because Armani was in his feelings right there. So
I'm not in my feelings. Y'all just talking craziness. Y'all, okay. Typical new blood talk. Typical new blood talk.
All you should be doing right now is just congratulating us.
Typical new blood talk. Clemson said the same thing. Ain't relevant no more.
Clemson not relevant, but Kirby Smart ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, you're welcome, by the way, for that. Moving on.
Hold on now. You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Where did the man go to school?
What was he before?
Where did the man go to college?
No. What was he
Where
before
did the
Nick
man
Saban
go to
got there?
college?
What was he before
Where
Nick
did
Saban got
the
there?
man
What
go?
was he before
Where
Nick
did the
Saban
man
got
go
there?
to college?
University of Georgia. But what was he?
Thank you.
No, you can't do that. You cannot do that. What was he before Nick Saban got there? What are you talking about? He was.
What has he been since he been in Georgia?
How long was he with Nick Saban for?
And
13 years, 14
and how
years?
many championships he helped your defense win?
5.
Okay.
5.
Now,
You welcome.
So, Rev, so can we add those 5 to
You're
Kirby's
welcome.
resume?
it's
welcome.
interesting they've only won 1 since he left.
We won 2. We beat y'all for 1, and we won 1 against Ohio State. And moving on.
Armani.
Right.
Nick Saban.
Right.
Now, was
Get
Nick
right.
Saban coaching under somebody before he got hired?
Of course he did.
Of course.
Exactly. Okay,
He
so why are
wouldn't
you
be there with-
poo-pooing
he wouldn't-
Kirby was hired under Nick Saban?
Nick Saban wouldn't be Nick Saban without Bill Belichick.
Okay, so everybody had to start under somebody. The fact is, what has he done since he been at Georgia? A lot of good things.
And I'm not denying that. But guess what?
You are?
What was Kirby Smart before he got with Nick Saban? A running backs coach? He wasn't even coaching his side of the football.
Dude, that's hating. You're hating on
What are
Kirby
you
Smart
talking
right
about?
now.
What does that matter, Marty?
Yeah,
Everybody
why
got
are you bringing that up? I don't understand why you bringing that up.
I mean, so
You sound-
Bill Belichick is less of a coach because he was, somebody's coach, young running backs coach, and then he made the defense coordinator.
No, he less of a coach because Tom Brady gone.
Well, now he's doing a decent job this year, though. He's doing
Yeah, he about to
He's
get
doing all right.
eliminated.
He's doing all right this year.
But
He's doing all
Armani,
right
it's
this
okay, bro. It's a new sheriff in town.
Almighty, just give us our
not.
props. You don't
It's
have to.
not.
You can give us our props.
not.
You don't have to. Hey, you were giving us our props until the game. I told you, Rev, you were just blowing smoke. I knew he was, and now he can't even give us our props after the game.
All right, man.
I gave it y'all props. I just said.
Oh, you been really been hating all day, really.
In other news, gas is going up $2.
Armani, I love you, brother. I'm gonna make sure I call you first.
Oh.
How you gonna call me and I'm picking y'all to win the
I'm
championship?
gonna call you first.
Y'all gonna win the championship. Nobody's
All right.
denying that.
All right.
Dude, we're not falling for this sarcastic credit.
All right, let's
we
move
all
on.
know if TCU upset us, you'll be on here telling us what this and that. So save it.
Hot
Rev,
takes,
he's pulling for us to lose in reality.
hot
Guess
takes,
what?
man.
It ain't
Hot
gonna happen.
takes.
It ain't
Hot
gonna
takes.
happen.
Lakers, should they make a move? They're on this winning streak. Red, give us 1 minute of your time. Go.
Okay. Personally, I don't think so. I think we should just stay pat, save those 2 picks. We got salary cap money coming next year. I think if we can just convince LeBron to wait 1 more year for us, and who knows, we rising up now. So with the way the West playing, the West is so mediocre this season. I don't even know where we gonna end up. Who knows where we'll be by the trading deadline or by at least the All-Star break. So my thing is for the Lakers to keep playing, keep getting these young guys playing better, because the more games we win, the more that winning feeling, they'll get, and then it'll start to become consistent. I like how we playing right now. I think LeBron playing more games, and these young guys keep playing better. Thomas Bryant has been a steal.
10 seconds.
My bad. Let me wrap it up. Oh, okay. No, don't make a move. Stay pat. Keep them 2 draft picks and go into the offseason with salary cap space and those 2 draft picks for trade potential in the offseason. Stay pat for right now.
The Lakers make a move, coach.
No. I mean, what are you making a move for? You know your weakness. I mean, your history. AD is coming back whenever, unless he pulls a shoestring out of place or something and have to go out for another month. So, I mean, Thomas Bryant has stepped in and said, hey, I'm going to show y'all what I can do. Reeves is playing well. Don't make any moves. Keep going. You won 4 in a row. You climbing up toward that, of all the things, the number 10 spot. So, hey, keep doing what you're doing.
Armani, should the Lakers make a move?
No, stay where you at. And just like Rev said, stay where you at. Don't make no sudden moves that can hurt you down the road. Save the picks, save the cap space, go into the all season next year, to where LeBron is probably still going to be there. I don't think he's going nowhere. So just stay where you at. Don't make no major moves just for the right now.
I'm gonna disagree with all y'all. The Lakers should make the move. Colin Cowherd or the Herd influenced me.
Oh God.
Then they need to trade Russell Westbrook. Reason being, I think Russ is doing great in the regular season. Can you trust that same production in the playoffs? When teams lock in on players, when teams key in on various weaknesses. I think, again, what Russ is doing is game by game. People are not game planning the way they game plan in the playoffs. Shooting is necessary. If the Lakers make the playoffs, they need some shooting. So therefore, I think they should make a trade for Russ. Somebody will take his contract and bring in a shooter.
But we need 2 shooters.
Well, we'll see.
Have you noticed, Rev, that when LeBron go down the court with the ball, like I saw Trae Young do last night, everybody pretty much get out the way?
Yeah.
Nobody's willing to take that block.
All right, last topic for 5 and 5. NFL coaches on the hot seat. Coach, who's on the hot seat? Go.
Woohoo! Ron Rivera, have a nice day. You tanking Ron Rivera, putting Carson Wentz in there when y'all had a shot at a playoff. You tanking, dude. Come on, you one of them. Josh McDaniels, maybe. They might throw him in there. And a surprise, but I don't think it's gonna happen, is the guy for the Miami Dolphins. If they lose tomorrow, he might be in trouble. That'd be 6 losses in a row after starting the season on such a high note.
Armani, who's on the hot seat?
Okay. Miami Daniel, missed the playoff. Yeah, you're going to be on the hot seat, brother. Of course, Carolina's going to be looking for a new head coach.
No.
I'm telling you. I'm not going to say Lovie Smith because he don't have his. Chicago Bears. If y'all, I know he just got there, but he got about 1 more year to prove that he might be able to do something. His seat will get warm. I hate to say it, but Arthur Smith, this is 2 straight losing seasons, man. I'm telling you. I'm gonna say this, Terry. Don't let this man get you fired, like I've been saying. And I'm telling you, if one of them top quarterbacks fall in your lap in that draft and you don't take him and you lose again next year, your seat gonna be hot, scorching hot.
All right, Coach.
Falcons not taking a quarterback Almighty. I keep telling you. What's up, man?
Who's on the hot seat?
Well, I wasn't even prepared for this topic. Okay, let's see. Coaches on the hot seat. Coach, you might have to prepare yourself because the Panthers coach might be let go. They had a chance to win the division. Had he won the division, then you could have said, all right, that would have been a travesty to let that man go after he just won the division and got him to the playoffs. He didn't win the division. The guy who owned the team, he wants a splash. He's probably going to go in a different direction. So good job, Steve Wilkes, but I don't think he's going to keep the job. I don't think the Dolphins coach is in trouble. I don't think the Bears coach is in trouble. I don't think the Falcons coach is going anywhere. I tell you, you want to hear a surprise? I'll give you a surprise. How about Todd Bowles for the Bucs? If they be one and done in the playoffs, I can see the Bucs going in a different direction from him because Brady may not come back. And Bowles, man, it seems like you proven you might be a better defensive coordinator than head coach. McDaniels, it would be bold for Mark Davis to get rid of him after 1 year. It seemed like the team trying to have a little fire with Stidham, and Adams even said he's coming back next year. That's a surprise. I meant to post on that. But Rev, it might not be that many coaching changes this particular off. It might be a few, but not as many as we anticipate. Like I say, the Chargers coach got them to the playoffs. He'll be back. Broncos already fired their coach, so we know they'll be looking for a change. So right now, I see the Broncos. I see Carolina. I think the Falcons bringing Smith back for 1 more year. I think the Dolphins are going to bring.
All right.
Hey, my man.
That's it. All right. I think there's only one coach that's really on the hot seat, and that's really go wrong. Because he gave the season away with that Carson Wentz. I think Carolina, even though their owner may be looking for a splash, Steve Wilkes did more than enough to make that team be his team because they became relevant, and even on the road, they almost beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He
Hey,
made
I would love for him to go get fired.
Darnold relevant. Sam Darnold was thrown away in the ocean of forgetfulness for quarterbacks, and Sam Darnold looked decent under Steve Wilkes' coaching ability. So the Panthers, they want to get the splash. They already tried the splash with the college coach. Stick to the guy who already gave y'all something to show forth where they got heart, they play hard, and you got to let the black man get the job.
Hey, I hope the Carolina Panthers owner is thinking like you guys are thinking, because I'm with you. I think Steve Wilkes did a tremendous job. I just don't think that owner
Khaki pants.
is thinking like us.
Well, and they've already said that Khaki Pants and the Panthers may be talking, so they have already.
Yeah. Khaki Payne's gonna be looking for a way out after this legal trouble coming his way. He might pull a Pete Carroll.
All right, gentlemen. We're gonna skip the Falcons and Steelers report. We went over time. We know the Falcons ain't playing for nothing. The Steelers need
red and black, black and gold
to get into the playoffs. They gotta hope the Miami Dolphins lose, as well as the New England Patriots lose, in order to get into playoffs with the win. So we'll see.
I'm pulling for them. I'm pulling for Pittsburgh.
Let's see where we are with these NFL.
Oh God! Can I leave?
Oh no! Do I need to close my eyes, real?
Feel like you left all season. All right. Here we go. This is where we are, gentlemen. Red went 4-4 last week. He's now 6 games behind. Rev, coach, had the best record out of all of us by 1 game, went 7-1.
That's right.
He's 3 games behind the Rev, and Armani is just tallying up the Longhorn money as we speak. So that's where All right. Let's go right into it, gentlemen.
Where were you in December, Armani?
All right, gentlemen, we're gonna get ready to pick some good games on today. Let's get some pick'em music.
Doesn't even matter if I pick.
We can skip it because it ain't gonna matter much. But if you want, you're on the show, so you might as well pick them and continue to go into that bad record.
Armani, you getting ready for next year, Armani. Don't worry about it. You showing that you can have
it on air, so we'll give you a pass. All right,
just like your turds, getting ready for next year.
Titans versus the Jaguars. I'm gonna pass it off to Coach. I'm gonna go last. Coach, who you got?
Jaguars, but it's not gonna be as easy as they thought. And Josh Dobbs, I love my boy, but he's not ready yet after a couple games, so it's gonna be the Jaguars.
All right, Red, who you got?
I'm with Coach. It's gonna be the Jag. Dougie P finally. I knew Dougie P would have a positive impact over Trevor. It took a while, but he's finally proven that he might have been a decent number 1 pick. The Jags are feeling it. They feeling it. Is their time now? They're gonna go ahead and win this division. They at home. They finna go on and celebrate. Jags.
Armani, who you got?
Jags.
All right, I'm gonna make it unanimous. Jags. I don't trust the quarterback situation in Tennessee. On to the next thing. Red, it's on you. Rams versus Seahawks.
Now, I would love for the Rams to pull an upset. I would love for Baker to go into the 12th man and beat Seattle, just so that Packers and Lions game will mean a little more. But the way Geno Smith is playing this season, the way Seattle's playing, they playing for something. They know if they beat the Rams and Detroit just happen to upset the Packers, that they in the playoffs. So Seattle gonna play, and they gonna play to win, and they gonna win.
Armani.
Which one of these teams gives my Falcons best chance to move up? Let me see.
None. Armani. I'm worried about the Falcons. God.
I'm gonna go with the Seahawks though. Seahawks got that. They got that one.
Seahawks, 12 man all day, any day. That's what I got. Who you got, Coach?
Seahawks.
Rams,
a grease fire.
On to the next one. The money's on you. Jets versus Dolphins.
I'm I'm gonna go with the Dolphins.
Hughes.
Any reason why?
Yeah, think about it.
They're at home.
I'm gonna go with the Jets. The Jets, the Dolphins are going to their third string quarterback. Don't trust that. The Jets backup to me is better than the Dolphins' third string, and I think the Dolphins are going to go ahead on and allow that train wreck to look real good with all the successive, the continued losses that they've encountered. So they're going to go on a losing streak, and that's why the Jets win. Coach, who you got?
Jets, Jets.
I'm sorry, Red.
Oh, okay. I thought Coach was gonna add some more to it. I'm with y'all. It's gonna be the Jets. Dolphins. The Tua is important to this offense. If Tua is not there, this offense is not the same, and that means the team is not the same because they're pretty much based on the offense and Tua. The defense is respectable, but they need a quarterback, and they don't have them. Teddy ain't gonna do it. The guy behind Teddy ain't gonna do it. The Jets and the Dolphins gonna both finish at 8-9. And it's sad because the Dolphins had a chance this year. It's sad for the Jets because they messed up their quarterback situation, but both teams are going to finish a very disappointing 8-9, and it's going to open the door for coach's team. Let's go Steelers.
On to the next game. It's on me. Chiefs versus Raiders. Give me the Chiefs. They got every incentive to win this game. They win this game. They get home field advantage by default unless they play the Bills or the Bengals in the championship. Then they got to play off-site game. But give me the Chiefs. Who you got, Coach?
The Chiefs gonna win, but I know Jared Stidham is playing for a starting job next year with the Raiders because Derek Carr won't be there, so he's gonna try to impress the boss, and see if he can throw for 400-something yards or whatever like he did last week. So, Chiefs.
Brad, who you got?
I got the Chiefs. I can't believe Jacobs got 1,600 yards. Adams got almost 1,500 yards. But the Raiders got some skill players. They got to get a quarterback. And man. But I don't care. Chiefs going to win. The Raiders season is over with. I wish they had played a little better because this game could have been a little more. And I probably would have been tempted to take an upset. But Chiefs going to go ahead and lock it up. They playing for something much bigger.
Armani.
Chiefs.
On to the next one. Coach, tell us why the Steelers beat the Browns.
Because they're determined to do what they have to do to get in the playoffs. But one thing that concerns me, now all of a sudden all the people around are saying Steelers gonna make the playoffs. And that's bad luck. They wasn't talking about us for a minute, talking about Steelers just playing for this and that. Now all of a sudden everybody's jumping on the bandwagon. So, Steelers win, but I just don't like the new bandwagon people jumping on there in the NFL.
Red.
Coach, you upset that people are cheering for your team now?
Bad luck. Very bad luck. And then we need the Jets to win and the Bills to win. Something bad. I hate to see something bad happen. You've been saying the Steelers were garbage. They were this. Now all of a sudden, oh yes, they're going to make the playoffs. Yes, they're going to do this. Shut up. Just keep us on the dog.
Coach, you being a Grinch right now. But anyway, I'm with the Steelers. I hate to be one of the guys Coach talking about, but
no, it's not about anybody on here. It's not about here. I'm talking about all them other people.
I feel you, but it's the Steelers, Coach. I mean, once we see that y'all playing for something, because it's just a tradition, because we know the type of coach you have, and we know the type of tradition that the Steelers have. Yeah, y'all started off bad, but it's like once we see Pittsburgh is figuring it out, we trust y'all more than some of these other poo-poo teams. So that's kind of what you're getting right now, and I trust them too more than some of these other poo-poo. Oh, sorry, Pittsburgh. Sorry, Real.
Steelers. Okay, on to the next game. We got Cowboys versus Commanders. Who you got, Red?
It's on me. Cowboys. Ron Rivera don't ruin this team, ruin this season. I know Dallas ain't got much to play for, but they probably, the way the quarterback situation in Washington, I don't know who he's starting. Dallas probably wouldn't even have to play half their guys and probably still could get a win. You could probably put Cooper Rush out there for a half of the game and get a win. I just think it's over with for the Commanders, and the Cowboys are sitting pretty. They'll play their starters for the half and then let Cooper Rush finish it off. Cowboys.
Armani.
Cowboys.
I'm going to Cowboys too, since the Eagles might got a game too. Don't expect the Cowboys to go to the bench, because if the Cowboys win, Eagles lose, Cowboys win the division. So, Cowboys. Coach, who you got?
Cowboys, I hope they win and the Eagles lose, because I want the fall to be sweet when the Cowboys lose their first playoff game and don't do nothing.
All right, the Monty Patriots or the Bills?
Bills.
All right, the Monty just giving us one-word answers.
You ain't lying, man.
Josh Allen, the Patriots, they had a decent season, but they'll come up short going to the playoffs. Coach, who you got?
Bills, go Josh Allen. I need my fantasy points.
Well, the season's over, Coach.
No, it's not yet.
Unless you're in another league.
In another league.
All right, go ahead. Coach, Greg, who you got?
Bills. I told these Bills fans that y'all better bring it now. Your guys gonna be okay, so you can go out on that field and that whatever you were gonna do to the Bengals, do it to the Patriots and keep the Steelers alive. So beat the Patriots. So go ahead, Bills. Go ahead, knock the Patriots off and get ready for the playoffs.
Lions versus Packers on me. Pete Rogers got the team on fire, playing good ball. Give me the Packers. Beat the Lions. Lions, way to play, but your season's over. Coach, who you got?
Packers, I feel so sorry for the Lions. You're doing so well, and then you don't get the playoffs again. So sad.
Red.
Well, you can't lose to Carolina in a big game. That's what happened to the Lions. That Carolina loss is gone. That pretty much killed this season. And now you're going to Green Bay for a must-win that you're not going to get. Skeet got these boys playing, got them believing. Once Skeet got his team believing, it's over with. Packers.
Armani.
Packers.
Giants and Eagles. Who you got, Coach?
Eagles if Jalen Hurts play.
We got to make a definitive pick. Who you got?
Eagles.
Red, who you got?
I got the Eagles because the Giants not going to be playing anybody. They position is put. You can't get higher or lower. So I think Dayball is going to rest his guys, and the Eagles are probably going to win by default.
Who you got, Armani?
Eagles.
And I'm going to make it unanimous, especially because of what Red just talked about, how the Giants' position is already established, so there's no need to get anybody hurt. On to the last game, Ravens versus Bengals. Red, who you got?
You know what I got, baby? I ride with Joe Cool, Joe Burrow. This day time of the year. It is late in the season, and this is when Joe Burrow shines. Bengals.
Armani.
Bengals.
Same here with me. Joe Burrow shines over the Ravens. Then he's not going to let no backup quarterback steal his playoff position. Coach, who you got?
I hope they tie.
Yo, you got to pick one.
Bengals.
Thank you.
All right, my cousin showing that Cincinnati love talking about the Bengals going to the Super Bowl. They might. All right. That ends our pick on segment.
One quick thing. What do y'all think about the Lamar Jackson situation? Should he play?
No.
Just sit out the rest of the season and get paid?
Get paid.
I'm with you. Get paid. Shouldn't play no more this season, right?
Correct.
Everybody else feel that way? Armani, coach?
Yeah, he might as well. But who gonna pay him?
I hope the Falcons not.
I know who got the money to pay him.
No, Armani, no.
All right, gentlemen.
He said no.
All right, real quick.
Please, no.
We'd like to do what, when, where, and how. Who got it first?
I'll do it. NBA. You got the right to test Luka Doncic after he have a big game, just like you did Donovan Mitchell after he had his 70-point game. You decided to test him like he been doing something wrong, but he been playing good all year. Test Luka and put him on the under the needle or whatever you're gonna do to him.
All right, who wants at it next? Who has the right to do what, when, where, and how?
I'll go. UGA basketball. Good job after 14 games this season. 11-3. You got the right to keep it going against Florida today at 1:00, which probably just started. I am loving it. I need some positive basketball in the state of Georgia. And if the Hawks ain't gonna do it, if the Tech ain't gonna do it, well, clear it up to my Bulldogs, baby. That's right. 11-3 after 14 games. And we going for more. We going for that tournament this year. UGA.
Who has the right to do what, when, where, and how?
Hey, Ralph!
76ers, y'all have the right to at least go on a little game winning streak so we can move up a little bit in the standings. I mean, you know, you got the Nets up there. I mean, they're playing phenomenal basketball, but I mean, we got to keep going. We got to keep pushing it. We need to try and win something the next few years.
All right.
What you talking about?
UGA football, you have the right to add to Armani's bitterness.
Oh,
Give him some more headache pain medicine. National championship on Monday night. That's what y'all have the right to do to make Armani even bitter more and more each day. Yes.
Rev, you do know I picked y'all to win. You do know I picked y'all to win the game,
you
right?
picked us, but you don't want us to win.
Exactly. Armani, everybody is seeing through your BS
I
right
don't know
now.
why y'all think, man, y'all not Auburn and LSU. I don't hate Georgia.
Oh man,
Ask the Rev Night crew that. I bet you they'll say you do.
You hate these chips that Georgia about to win. But
You hate this legacy, this destiny, this greatness, man. Y'all turds are just jealous.
Armani, hey y'all, we're gonna have a 3-man cast next week. 'Cause I'm sure Armani gonna have something to do with the kids next week.
I don't have my kids on the weekends.
All right, thanks everybody.
Okay, well, be up here, be bitter more then. We'll see you next week.
I picked y'all to win.
You have the right to represent all Christians with the NOP 10 power.
Armani, this for you, Armani, right here.
UJ. Thank y'all, everybody, watching episode 264. We'll be back episode 265 next week, Saturday, 11 a.m. Red and Red Sports Show on Facebook.
I'm trying to point to Armani's window over here.
Holla at y'all. Have a great week.
I see you on Facebook, Armani. Don't run.
I picked y'all to win, crazy.